For today's job, we're doing a little maintenance and preventative repair on this truck. This is actually a project truck of one of mine, and let me show you why I go through every wheel end on every truck I buy before I put it into service. I find a wheel end comes into the shop, especially on these older trucks that I like to buy, their wheel ends are almost always set up incorrectly, and this truck was no different. This actually had a LMS style hub on all four corners, all the way around on the drive axles of this truck, and they were all set up incorrectly. These are supposed to be torqued down to spec. I took the inner nut off of this by hand, and you can tell the damage that that causes on this cone. It's got a raised razor edge right here caused by this cone and the inner race of that outer bearing spinning independently of each other, causing this wear. So at this point, you do not reuse this cone. I unfortunately don't have new ones to go back together with it. However, for this LMS style setup, Dana states that we can set it back up without this cone in a conventional wheel end fashion with a bearing in play of 1 to 5 thousandths as found in RP 618 in the TMC manual. So let's go ahead and get started with that now. Now before we get started, I want to tell you that I have taken my hubs and ran them through my spray wash cabinet. I have pulled them back out and allowed them to acclimate back to room temperature before we try setting up this wheel end. My next step that I'm going to do is take my go no-go gauge and check that these spindles are not worn out, and these are actually very good, which is nice to see, especially considering that our old hub was set up incorrectly. I have went ahead and checked all four of these and they are all good, so that is great news. So we're going to go ahead and set this wheel end up now at this time. Now I am going back together with a Stemco Guardian seal. These seals install on the axle spindle, not in the hub. So let's go ahead and do that now. The instructions state to apply a thin layer of sealant. I think it's a number 2 sealant on the spindle. So let's go ahead and start with that. Now we will put on our seal. I take a little bit of time right here to make sure that this seal is installed square. The nature of the installer is to do that, but I always like to verify. From here, we're going to take our hub and make sure that our seal area is clean, along with the entire inner bore, obviously. I will temporarily put my bearing in the hub in order just to give me a place to lubricate it quick. And then I'm going to lubricate the spindle underneath the bearing. This helps prevent fretting. I'm going to lubricate the OD of my seal just very lightly. And before I install my hub, I'm going to prep my outer bearing with lubricant as well. This will allow me to install the outer bearing and the hub onto the spindle with the inner bearing and the seal as one assembly in a really nice smooth motion to help prevent cocking the seal in the hub. Okay, so what I have done, I have taken and used the nut to evenly suck the hub up onto the spindle and the seal. Now, after that, I have torqued it to roughly 200 foot-pounds while spinning it. And then I will back the nut off an entire rotation. So 360 degrees, spin the hub again. This is very important. After that, I will torque it down to roughly 100 foot-pounds while I'm spinning it. And then I will back it off until it's loose. The reason I'm not setting it up with a torque wrench like a Pro Torque nut, if you have set up a bunch of those, you'll know that this is very comparable to that procedure. However, I have to set this up with a dial indicator so I know exactly what my 1 to 5 thousandths is, coupled with the fact that when we jam the outer nut onto this inner nut to lock it down, it actually takes the slack out of the threads of the spindle, affecting our wheel end play. I find that if you will set this hub up with this inner nut in roughly 8 to 10 thousandths, torque your outer nut to spec, it should put you very close to your 1 to 5 thousandths ballpark for your actual bearing in play. So let's do that now. When you set your indicator up, make sure that it actually has enough movement available to properly read. If you're at the end of the travel on either end, it's not going to work. I'm pulling out and pushing in with quite a bit of force while oscillating the hub 5 degrees. I am taking my maximum and my minimum measurements and trying to aim right around that 10th thou mark while loosening that inner nut. So I believe I'm really close. Let's assemble the rest of our nut and see where we're at. This washer actually engages the tang on the spindle, and there's a raised face on that inner nut that actually engages into these holes. If you don't like where it's at this direction, you can rotate this thing around and go back in, and it actually splits your holes in half. So with our outer nut torque to 300 foot-pounds, we have rechecked our end play, and it is right at 1/1000, which is where I try to hit. At this point, I'm going to bend my tangs over on my locking washer for this outer nut. I will install a new gasket and my axle shaft, and this hub will be ready for oil.